to flap, laugh, and dive into a super motivational story? Let's go on Quack Quack Stories! Once upon a time, in a quiet village surrounded by tall coconut trees, where the breeze whispered secrets through the leaves, there was a cozy garden behind a small, sunny house. And in one far corner of that garden sat an old clay pot. It was reddish-brown and chipped around the edges, with a long crack running down one side. The poor pot often sighed sadly to itself and murmured, "I'm too cracked and broken for anything to grow inside me anymore." One breezy morning, the gardener, an elderly woman with kind eyes and a floral dress, walked through the garden carrying a basket brimming with tiny seeds. She hummed softly as she passed by the old clay pot. But suddenly, a tiny brown banana seed slipped from her basket and fell right into the pot's dry, dusty soil. The cracked pot gasped, "Oh, little seed, I'm so sorry. I'm old and broken. You can't grow in me." But the tiny banana seed whispered back bravely, "Don't worry, I'll try my best." Days passed. The sun blazed fiercely overhead, and rain came only in soft, fleeting drizzles. The cracked pot did its very best to hold on to every drop of water, but some always leaked out through the crack. Inside the pot, the soil grew dry and dusty, and the little banana seed felt thirsty and weak. Yet deep underground, it whispered to itself, "Just a little more, and I'll reach the sky." Then, one bright morning, after a gentle rain, a tiny green shoot poked up through the soil. It was delicate and wobbly, but it stood tall under the sun. Slowly, a small leaf uncurled toward the golden light. The cracked pot blinked in shock and gasped, "You're growing!" Little banana plant smiled with its tiny leaf and said, "I'm trying my hardest. Thank you for keeping me safe and for holding on to water for me." The cracked pot felt warmth blooming inside its clay. It had believed it was useless, but now it knew that even with a crack, it could help something wonderful grow. As days passed, the banana plant grew taller and stronger, pushing out more and more leaves, each one longer and greener than the last. The leaves were so big and bright that sunlight glowed right through them. Birds perched on the edge of the cracked pot, chirping cheerful songs, while the banana plant danced gently in the soft breeze. And then, one tender morning, the banana plant felt a new stirring deep inside. Tiny yellow-white flowers began to appear among its leaves, hanging down like delicate little bells. The cracked pot gasped in wonder. "Flowers? Growing inside me?" And the banana plant rustled its leaves and whispered proudly, "Yes, I may have started as a tiny seed, but look how far I've come." Slowly, where the flowers had been, small green bananas began to grow, hanging in gentle curves beneath the leaves. Each day they grew plumper and brighter under the warm sun. The cracked pot stood tall and proud, lifting the thriving banana plant high for all to see. People passing by the garden would stop and stare, exclaiming, Look at that beautiful banana plant, and it's growing in that cracked old pot." The cracked pot glowed with pride. It had once thought its crack made it worthless, but instead it had helped life blossom. And the little banana plant waved its wide green leaves and whispered, "Even in tough places, we can grow strong and bring sweetness to the world." From that day on, the cracked pot never felt empty again. It stood there in the garden, holding up the banana plant's bright green leaves and sweet fruit, reminding everyone who passed by that growth and sweetness can blossom, even in the hardest places.
Moral of the story. Even in the hardest places, hope and determination can help us grow strong and bring sweetness to the world. Every crack can become a place where something beautiful begins.
Clackety quack quack! Smash that like, share with your friends, and flap on over to subscribe! More fun awaits on Quack Quack Stories! See ya!